This time around, talking football has to do with, of course, 7 days and 7 hours till the big one in Africa, the African Cup of Nations, with different groups from Group A to Group B to Group C to Group D to Group E and Group F. And today we will be looking at teams in Group F, as of course it features one of the favorites for the competition, Morocco, who last year reached the semi-final of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The Atlas Lions joined DR Congo, Tanzania, and the Zambia in the group stage. I mean, this is an interesting group. When you look at the pedigrees of each nation, all of them are footballing nation, both of course in club level and in the national team level. Popola, let's look at this particular group. On paper, Morocco are definitely favorized, but football has taught us that it's not just about playing on paper. It's a game of 90 minutes and anything can happen.
Yeah, fantastic. Football is not Ludo, right? It's not played on paper, basically. It's played on the grass. And, if you say Morocco, it's the favorite, no doubt. Fantastic team, fantastic talent, fantastic squad. You have the likes of Bufal, you have the likes of Arit in fine form. You have Amrabat, playing for Manchester United currently. Fantastic team, no doubt. But, when it comes to, coming to the pitch of play and coming to deliver, then that's another question entirely. But I can tell you boldly that, DR Congo should not be, overlooked or seen as underachievers because they've done quite well looking at history in this game. And believe you me, I think DR Congo can actually spring a surprise from that group.
All right, DR Congo can spring a surprise. Now, let's look at the group now. I mean, squad depth. Yeah. You look at Morocco, I think they have better squad depth than other teams. But don't you think that there'll be lots of pressure on the team, considering the fact they achieved a lot at the last FIFA World Cup? But this is Africa, and the football in Africa is quite different from what we have in the world.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. The African football is a bit more physical than technical. But, in the with Manchester United's Amrabat, then you have a physical midfielder who would cover every blade of grass on the field. And I think is a very important and a key element to the side and to what and how Morocco play. And no doubt the coach would be depending on his physicality, his pace, and his tenacity to actually go far in this tournament. No doubt, fantastic, depth in the squad. Every player, making the Morocco team is a seasoned international, and no doubt, they promise to do well.
They promise to do well. Still talking about the Group F team. Now let's go straight now to the DR Congo team. The last time they achieved was a bronze medal in 2015. They were in the wilderness for a while, and they are back. I mean, a long time waiting. But the interesting part of the team is the fact that their top stars that made name for themselves in the last few years are not there. It's a new squad entirely. I mean, that should give any coach a bit of concern, knowing that he or she may not really know the players that would come against them.
Yeah, no doubt, DR Congo. But if you follow the European leagues very well, talking about the coaches coming on board, they would understand that quite a few of these players play in Europe, and the likes of Bakambu, fantastic player, was at Villarreal at a point in time, now plays for Galatasaray. No doubt a fantastic talent, and also the highest goal scorer for them in their qualifying phase, I think with 2 goals at that point in time as well. They would also watch out for the likes of Fiston Mayele, fantastic talent as well, who broke into the team at 28 years old, making his debut at that point in time. That was when he peaked, and as of now, fantastic talent, still made the squad. He is 29 currently, and no doubt we should see more of him in the side. DR Congo has some very, very key players, the likes of Gal Kakuta as well, formerly of Chelsea, now plays with Amiens in France as well. And so, these are players that you might not really, have a lot of eyes upon, but, they can always hurt you when you don't expect.
All right, and now to the country of Tanzania. Their football, especially in the club level, is on the rise with, of course, Yanga, Simba SC, and likes, doing a lot in that country. And since Emmanuel Amuneke took them to the Nations Cup, we have a new coach, Adel Amrouche, is from Algeria. He has also taken them to another Nations Cup, and he'll be looking to do the unthinkable within 4 years to ensure that they get to a very, very good place alongside, Popola, this particular country of Tanzania when it comes to their football squad.
Yeah, it's quite shocking that, when you look at the lineup, talking about the squad, the players called up for this tournament, they have about 4 strikers there, and the average age of these players is between 24 and 25. We have 22, we have 23, so many inexperienced, players in that team. But with what the Tanzanian league is, doing at this point in time, I feel they can really, cause an upset in that group. Anything can happen. It is the game of football. A young team, hungry for talent, hungry for goals, hungry for a platform to show what they can do, and I believe they can actually go all the way. But in this group, at this point in time, they are the whooping boys, no doubt.
The whooping boys says Popola, but we, of course, do not know what will happen. But on paper, they are the whooping boys, according to him. But let's go to Zambia now. The Chipolopolo of Zambia, traditional side, footballing nation. We know what they did when they got to the finals against Cote d'Ivoire. They were also in Nigeria's group when Nigeria eventually went to win the AFCON in 2013. They have quite interesting players, Patsindaka amongst others. Zambia would be in the mix of this one with a coach that is used to, foreign football also, Avram Grant, and not forgetting in Africa.
Yeah, no doubt. They were champions in 2012 when they shocked Africa. And indeed, for me, it shocked the world because we never saw that coming. And I think they also have the capacity to do that again, which I feel, they've been so much underrated, and they've not really lived up to the abilities these players have. But indeed, if you look at the squad, you would understand that they have some fantastic talent there. And, Pedigree also says that they've actually won it once. They've been they've been second twice. They've had bronze once as well, which means they actually have it in them. The question is, can they deliver at this point in time? And believe you me, if you look at the group as well, you see Morocco, no doubt, outright favorites. But the battle for second place will be between DR Congo and Zambia.
All right, the battle for second place will be between them. Now let's now analyze and pick our teams, or pick the teams that we think would make it through to the next round in Group F. So I'll put you on the spot, Popola, your first two teams, and which of the teams you think would qualify as one of the best losers?
Okay, I think the Group F would actually become a very tight group because, no doubt, I said earlier on that Tanzania, they're actually, the whipping boys of the group. But at the end of the day, I feel they can just bring up a surprise. But no doubt, I still feel they are the whipping boys, right? All right, let's move on to Morocco. Morocco, no doubt, will top the group for me. DR Congo comes closely second, based on pedigree and based on the fact that they have some very, very good players that we really are not looking at this point in time. And also, I think Zambia should come out amongst the, third best placed team because they would actually score one goal and probably defend their goals. So no doubt, I think they would come out from the group as well.
All right, we'll wait to see in the next few weeks if this prediction would come to pass, and then we'll revisit this discussion. Maybe at that time would now decide to, give an honorary title to Bemidepo Popola after making his prediction. But of course, it is the Africa Cup of Nations kickstarts on Saturday next week. And, it's going to be interesting to see different cities hosting the game, from San Pedro, Yamoussoukro, talking about Abidjan. We have two stadia right there in Abidjan that would be, would play host to this particular one. Bouaké is also there. And the football loving fans from outside Nigeria, in Africa, are really looking forward to have the very best of global football fiesta in Africa.